to plan to be ready to go tomorrow? I imagine you're pretty drained.
I mean, it's definitely been a very emotional past couple of days, not only for myself, but everyone. Um, it's kind of ironic to be here on the anniversary of the March on Washington and the unfortunate death of Emmett Till, and see that we're still fighting these same social injustices on a daily basis. And first and foremost, I got to give a lot of credit to our players. Our players, it's been a hard time. Everyone shouldering a lot, but the communication that we're having has been amazing. I think what everyone saw in the past couple of days was, guys just needing to reset, refocus, and that's what we did.
Next up, we have Tanya Ganguly with the LA Times.
There were obviously a lot of emotions were pretty high, obviously, on Wednesday night. But I'm wondering how concerned were you that the Lakers would actually, that LeBron and the Lakers would actually decide that they didn't want to continue?
It was never about one person. It was never about one team. It was all about all of us together. When the events happened the other day of the game, we stood in solidarity with our brothers from Milwaukee. Everything that we do is about the brotherhood, about everyone as a whole. So it was never about what is this one team, what this one player is going to do. What we did in there is we had deep conversations, and we all really had an opportunity to address a lot of things. The shootings that continue to happen, it creates a lot of unrest, a whole lot of unrest. For us to have a predominantly African-American league, to see our black brothers being shot and killed on a daily basis, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to us. And so everyone expects us to go out and play. I get it, but we needed some time. All of us, we needed some time to refocus and understand, that we can do that. We're human. At the end of the day, a lot of times people pass a lot of judgment about what we should do or what we shouldn't do, but guys, I give our guys a lot of credit because they've been doing a hell of a job down here performing and speaking on the different social injustice that's going on day in and day out, while trying to be a great athlete, while trying to be a great husband, while trying to be a great father. So, yeah.
Next up, we got Mark Spears with The Undefeated.
Chris, what made the union comfortable going back to work? And also, what are the things in particular that you're excited about?
I think we talked. We talked as players. Our first meeting, we actually had coaches and everyone in there, and it was great to get a lot of insight from, I tell you, Armand Hill, Doc Rivers gave some great insight, John Lucas, but at the end of the day, our players spoke, and we understood the platform that we have, and we wanted to keep our foot to the pedal, right, and keep speaking on the different things that are occurring. And we also decided that we wanted to start a justice coalition, right, so that we could, on a daily basis, make sure that there are checks and balances, and also continue to attack police brutality and all these different things. And one of the biggest things that guys talked about in our meeting, which was great that we got a chance to get together and discuss these things, is voting. Voting is something that everyone in the room was very passionate about. We got a chance to discuss. We got a chance to talk to the different governors and tell them how, we want all of the NBA arenas to be polling sites, right? And it's funny, I had a conversation with J.R. Smith on my way over here, and J.R. told me that he spoke to the mayor where he's from, and they're going to open up an arena there for voting. So this is huge. In these different cities that may not be able to do their arena, maybe it's their practice facility, right? And another thing that guys spoke about is, while we're out there playing, we're the product, we're the game. During these commercials, we would like to see advertisement for voting, right? We understand how strong our voice is, how powerful our voice is, and ultimately we decided if we go away from this stage, we don't necessarily have that same platform. So we stood in solidarity. We're going to continue to play, but we're also going to continue to make sure that our voices are heard.
But it seems like you guys are shifting more now to concentrating on voting.
You know, the other thing too is not just make sure our voices are heard. We're about action. We're about action, and that's what our meeting was about. It was about the real action. You know, God said, you know, we've been saying this, we've been saying that, but what's the action? And so, in our meetings, we had a big meeting with all the players, and then we had a smaller meeting where 2 players from every team came.
Yeah.
And I think that was very informational, and we got a chance to talk to the different governors, and we told them the action that we wanted to see in place.
Next up, we have
Chris
So
Paul,
that
speaking
was
of the
it,
joint statement
baby.
between the
That
NBA and
was
Players
it.
Association.
Now, this brings up some very, different type of topics, because he pointed out things that should have happened during the George Floyd, incident that we religiously spoke on countless times. And we're saying, hey, this is, the way it needs to go. Hey, this is the way it needs to go. Hey, this is the way it needs to go. Why aren't we doing this? We got to have some action, and this has to happen. And I'm glad to see that the players are getting fed up, because you got a bunch of young players who are not multimillionaires. They just got to the league. They've been in there maybe 2-3 years. They got family members who, are in poverty, who these conditions are surrounding, and for Chris to bring up, his son, and have these conversations. These conversations are not being had in white households with their children. And some of them, how many times do a parent have to discuss with their child about, how to deal with the police at 11, at 12, at 13, like, what is the age limit? You don't even have to have these conversations when you're white. And that's what it's been showing countless times, that allowances are being given, and precaution and care is being given when someone is of different color, because they know, just like everyone else, the police know, that there's going to be ramifications for dealing with someone that's not of color in a violent manner than it is with doing it with a person of color. And that is an alarming system. And this system needs to be broken, because it's problematic, and it is not what a code of conduct and law is about. Now, people were saying, you attacking LeBron James, we got to come together in unity. LeBron James is not in unity. This has nothing to do with him. Forget him. Y'all just want to defend LeBron, on every aspect. You got other players saying this. I didn't create this. Other players are saying that about him, coming off as an elitist to them. Now, I didn't report that. Now, people saying they owe Michael Jordan gratitude for him stepping forward. I mean, this is part of the role that he selected. And a lot of people are like, well, it's about time Michael Jordan stepped up and said something. You can't force people to be something that they're not. I'd rather him do things from behind the scenes, than not do something at all. Then to top everything off, to make it more accessible to the rest of the world, you have the NBA now wants to get serious about doing something that they should have done a long time about social justice collisions and you know, doing some civic engagements, you know, criminal justice reform and voting. All of these things should have been discussed months ago. It should have been done back then. My thing is, why now? Why now? Why did it take so long to get done? That's the part that we're all scratching our heads on because it's not making sense to us. You know, why would it take so long to do? I'm just a little baffled by that. But I do commend Chris Paul for his, you know, his candor, everything, his words, his actions, his requests for action. You know, I'm very happy. I'm very happy about the direction that that the NBA players are taking. You know, and even the NFL players, they're not even playing yet. But the Minnesota Vikings went out and made a statement. The Detroit Lions made a statement. You know, even in practice, you know, they're being very, you know, proactive. So I'm just very proud that the younger generation are standing up and saying things, you know, and engaging more with the elders, you know, and you know, they're looking for advice. They're looking for direction. Some of these kids, you know, they don't understand. There's a lot going on during their times. You know, we remember greater or better days, you know, than what we've been through. Some of them, they only know this. And that's sad. Growing up in these times is getting crazier and crazier. So, on that note, y'all be safe out there. Be blessed. Don't forget to like the video. And we do talk about Chadwick Boseman on the Patreon. You know, the conspiracy theories are starting already. So, we address that on the Patreon also. I'm out.